Hey, what's going on, fellas? How you doing? Matt Antonelli here, answering your questions today. Question sent in today was, why did you never get called back up to the big leagues again? Because I stunk. Well, that was part of the problem. Let's delve into the question. Let's try to answer it and, you know, give you guys a reason. Obviously, I'm not 100% sure why, but I've got some pretty good ideas, so I'll try to be as honest as possible and figure it out. Maybe I'll figure it out more as I kind of talk through this because I haven't really actually thought about it much. Okay, so made my major league debut in 2008. Give you some background info on me. I know a lot of you guys have seen my videos, but just to give you kind of an idea of how I got called up. So in 06, I was drafted in the first round by the Padres. I moved up through the minors really, really fast. So I got drafted in 06, played short season, basically less than 2 years later, I'm in the major leagues, got called up. Actually got called up during my worst season of my life. So I basically forgot how to hit. And that's a topic for a whole nother video. People will say like, oh, you know, a great hitter, always a great hitter. You can't forget how to hit it. You know, blah. It's like riding a bike, blah, blah, blah. You know, I swung the bat really well my whole life. Hit really well my first few years in the minors. And then all of a sudden, 2008 came, went to AAA. Worked on a couple new things. Forgot how to hit. Hit like 150 for a lot of the year. Ended up hitting like 220 or something like that. But anyways, last month or so of the year, my buddy Sean Wooten, who I've made videos about in the past, became my teammate, kind of helped me with my swing, got me to kind of remember how to hit again. Ended up hitting like 3-something down the stretch, got called up late in the year. Made my debut. Didn't do great in my debut. Actually, interesting thing, another topic for another day is I got called up. After my first game, our hitting coach said, hey, we're going to change your swing around. We're going to give you a leg kick. We're going to work on all these things. And so the next like 2 weeks, I hit with a leg kick, and I was terrible. And no excuses, though. Still got to get hits. Anyways, so season ends, okay? Go to spring training the next year. Second or third day of spring training, I lay out. I get up. I feel fine. I wake up the next day. I can't walk. Hurt my knee somehow. Was out for like a week or so. Strangest thing I've ever seen. Got my knee feeling a little bit better, but it took like, man, I missed a lot of March. I missed all of April. I missed half of May. Finally got my knee feeling better towards the end of May, went to AAA, and kind of the same, couldn't hit, you know, was still struggling to find my swing. Hurt my hand a little bit. That was the beginning of my broken hand and wrist issues. So my season ended early with injuries and just kind of a mess of a year. 2010, next year, get the big league spring training again. Now, throughout this time, I'm on the 40-man roster, just so you guys know. So when you're on the 40-man roster, there's two rosters. 25-man roster, which is the actual guys that dress for the major league games, and there's a 40-man roster, which gives you 15 extra guys to kind of, you can call them up basically pretty much at any time. So if you're on the 40-man roster, your chance of getting called up are really, really good, because if someone gets hurt or they need somebody, whatever, you can just pop right up quick. They can even send you right back down. So it makes it easy. So I'm on the 40-man roster all this whole time. 2010 starts, get to spring training, have the best spring training of my life. Now, in that offseason, I totally rebuilt my swing. I worked with my buddy again, Sean Wooten, totally rebuilt my swing, felt the best I'd ever felt since 2007. Go into spring training. I think I led the major league team in hitting like the whole spring training, hit like 390 or something. I hit a couple home runs, or I don't know, a home run or 2 home runs, I can't remember. Felt amazing. All of a sudden, probably a week or so before spring training gets out, my hand is just killing me. Can't figure out what it is. Tons of pain. You know, I'm taking like, you know, pain medication to try to get through the games. Eventually, I just tell our trainer, you know, it's probably a week or two, maybe a week left. I just say like, I don't know if I can hit anymore. Like I literally can't hold the bat in my hand. It feels like someone stabbed me with a knife. And so they had me go get checked for my hand. Doctor says, no, it doesn't look like anything's really wrong. Just looks like you got a lot of inflammation in there. We're going to, you know, rest you for a little bit. So team breaks, you know, I'm scheduled. I get told right around that time that I'm probably going to go to AAA. But I stay back at our spring training complex because I'm not ready for the season. I can't even hold a bat. Go through about a month worth of tests. Can't find anything wrong. Go for a second opinion. Find out I have a broken hand. End up getting hand surgery. So I had a broken hamate bone. Okay. Not a super serious injury, all right? But broken hamate bone, out about 6 weeks. When I come back from the 6 weeks, my hand is killing me still. I'm like, something's wrong. Either they didn't fix it or something else wrong. So I go back into the doctors, and they tell me that I have an issue with my wrist. So I have to go back in for wrist surgery. So go back in for wrist surgery. Now I'm out. The wrist surgery takes longer to get ready. So now I'm out the entire season. I missed the whole year pretty much. During that time, I was actually put on the major league roster for a host of different reasons. I needed a roster spot. So I spent that season in the major leagues, technically on the major league roster, but was not able to play at all because I had hand surgery and wrist surgery. Okay, that season ends. The Padres, I forget what it's called, designate me for assignment. I think it was called. I can't remember exactly the words. Non-tendered me. I think that's what it was. They non-tendered me. And so basically, I became a free agent. Signed with the Washington Nationals. Okay, so I signed with the Nationals. I go to spring training. Have a pretty good spring training. I get sent to AAA. I play in AAA, have my best minor league season of my life, except for 2007. Lead the team in a bunch of categories. I think I led the league in on base percentage. Made the All-Star team. Played really, really well. Thought for sure I was going to get called up that year at some point. Never got called up. I wasn't on the 40-man, so that makes it difficult. Also, they were working me as a utility player. That was their goal, to make me a utility guy. I played all infield positions, played left field. And to be quite honest, I was not a great defender, especially shortstop. So I was 215 pounds at the time. I was a bigger guy, big for a second baseman for sure. And I just couldn't play shortstop. I played shortstop in high school, and then I hadn't played since high school. And they started putting me over there, and I don't know what it was. I just was not good at transitioning. If I could have played defensively at short and I could have been a utility guy, I think I could have had a chance to get called up. But unfortunately, I didn't. I played pretty good second. I played okay third for them. Wasn't a great outfielder. And so for whatever reason, again, just wasn't called up. And, I've seen plenty of guys have great offensive years and play well and not get called up. And so, that's just the way it goes. Didn't get called up that year. It probably worked out okay, because about 3 days left in the season, I took a swing in AAA with the Nationals, and I got the same feeling like someone just stabbed me in the wrist with a knife. So I go down, they take me out of the game. They check my wrist and say, you know what, we have 3 games left in the season. Like, let's not push you. Like, you're done. So I was like, okay. So I finished the year. Went and got my wrist checked when I got home. Needed another wrist surgery. Hurt my wrist again. Got wrist surgery. Was out the winter. Signed with the Orioles. Interesting thing about signing with the Orioles, I literally took like 7 swings during the offseason, which is like ridiculous, because I was in a cast and I couldn't do anything. So I show up in Baltimore, and I basically go from not picking up a bat all year to going to Baltimore, and I could not get my swing going with the Orioles. And again, I don't want to make any excuses. I got to find a way to hit. But it was just weird. I just couldn't get it going. Didn't feel comfortable. Got sent to AAA. Didn't hit well. Hit like 2-something. And that's when I was designated for assignment. I was on the 40-man at the time with the Orioles. And so now I'm taking off the 40-man. But someone can claim me if they want, put me on their 40-man. So the Yankees claim me, put me on their 40-man. So now I'm in AAA with the Yankees. I come over there, and literally, this is no joke, like probably a week into playing with the Yankees, I'm playing shortstop every day, I believe. And I was actually playing my best shortstop of my life over there in AAA. About a week in, I take a swing, and I get this horrible pain in my hand. Like, this is not a joke. And so to the point where like I literally can't hold the bat. So I go to the doctor, and they tell me that I have something wrong. Now instead of with this side of my wrist, it's the other side. And so they say, you're probably going to be out about probably 4 weeks or so. So I got to take 4 weeks off again. End up getting designated for assignment or released or something by the Yankees because they need the roster spot. But then they sign me right back. I essentially don't play at all for the Yankees. Like, my hand is killing me again. So at this point, it's a pretty good sign that, I'm probably not gonna, I'm getting to the point at this point in my career where I'm like, I don't even know if I can play baseball anymore, because I can't make it through. I couldn't make it through like any parts of my season. I was getting hurt over and over and over. It was always the same thing too. So anyways, I go, season ends with the Yankees, and I'm a free agent again. I go home, go back to the doctor. Doctor says, listen, I think what we're going to have to do, you're going to have to continue to have surgeries every year to fix this wrist unless we take out a bone. I don't know which bone it is. One of these bones right here. It's a pretty big bone. He said, we have to take that bone out of your wrist, or else you're going to continue to have these issues. I guess I had an arthritic something about my wrist was, I had an arthritic joint, and so, it was going to continue to cause me issues. So he said, we really haven't taken that bone out of professional baseball players before. I don't know how well you'll be able to play or how it would feel, but that's an option that I think will get rid of the pain. So I decided not to do it because I didn't want them to take the bone out and then not be able to like move my wrist around or play baseball. I didn't really know. So I just gave it a chance. Just said, let's see what happens. Was able to actually work out that offseason and felt okay about it. Signed with the Indians, went to the Indians, went to spring training, had my best spring training maybe of my life. I think I hit 4 something. Didn't get a ton of major league at bats. I think I hit 333 in the major league games, but I didn't get a ton of at bats. Mostly AAA at bats. Felt really good. Thought I was going to start with the Indians. Got called into the office probably about 2 days before spring training broke, and they told me that they were putting me on the Phantom DL at AAA, which basically the Phantom DL is like you're not hurt, but you're going to pretend you're hurt because we need your roster spot and we don't have a spot to put you. But we don't really want to get rid of you, so we'll put you on the Phantom DL. So I pretended to be hurt for a couple weeks at AAA. Actually, somebody got injured and I got to come off the Phantom DL, but then I'd go back on, then I'd come off, then I'd go back on. And so I played about a month with the Indians in AAA. I got 3 at-bats. I think I got 3 at-bats, or maybe 5 at-bats. I don't know. But I'd get an at-bat or so and get pinch hit for, and then I wouldn't play for 2 weeks, and then I'd get an at-bat, and then wouldn't play for 2 weeks. I'd get an at-bat, and then got called into the office. We're playing Pawtucket, the Red Sox, and I got called into the office, and our manager said, basically he said like this. He said, we're going to release you next week, but since you're home, I'm from Boston. He said, since you're close to home, we can release you now. You can go home, or you can wait for another couple of days or a week and get released, back in Columbus. And I was like, I guess I'll get released now. Like, if I'm going to be released in a week and I know I'm getting released, I don't really want to, I don't know. It felt kind of awkward to be on the team knowing you're not on the team. So I took my release, went home, and didn't get a call from a single major league organization. So, and I can see why. I mean, I didn't play great, and I also didn't play at all. I was hurt like almost every year for multiple times of the year. Got a bunch of calls from independent ball teams. In the end, decided that I wasn't going to do it just because the way I looked at it was, if I'm going to play, I'm playing because I think I can get back to the major leagues. I think I can be a really successful player. And at the time, I just didn't feel like the same player. It didn't feel healthy. Couldn't get through seasons. Wasn't able to practice a lot. I would have to limit my amount of reps because my wrist would get really sore if I took too many reps, and then it would really hurt in the game. So I tried to cut back. I just stunk. To be quite honest, I could not play. I was nowhere close to the player I was in 2006 and 7. At this point, we're looking at 2013, I think, or 14. Can't remember. I think it was 13. And so I decided that I wasn't going to go play independent ball. I said, thank you very much, but if I'm going to play, I got to be totally into it, and I got to have a real good feeling that I can get back to the major leagues. And I didn't even know if I could get through an independent league season, never mind back to the major league. So decided to hang them up. Went right into coaching. I actually called my coach, the coach that's still at Wake Forest, and wanted to go back and get my degree. Talked to the coach about I wanted to get into college coaching, and he was awesome and gave me a spot as a student assistant coach there. And so I went back, got my degree, got into coaching, and then got into college coaching. And that's a story for another day. But anyways, I hope this gives you an idea about my season, my career. People always say like, well, why didn't you ever get called up again? Like, what happened? Like, that's kind of what happened. All right, injuries and not performing are not a good combination. So that's the way it goes. Anyways, hope this helped you guys out. Let me know if you have any questions. Comment in the section below. Subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already. Give the video a thumbs up. Share with all your friends. I really appreciate that. Check out our Instagram page, Antonelli Baseball, and our Twitter feed, Antonelli9, where I'm posting videos all the time for you guys. Check out the description box below, where I put a bunch of links to books I've been reading and also training tools that we use with all of our players. Let's see, what else? Check out our website, AntonelliBaseball.com. You can find out how to work out with me and our teams. And that's all I got, guys. Good luck to you. Stay healthy. And we'll talk to you later.